Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome to City Skylines. What a glorious day it is in City Skylines. This is the Modlight today. Can you guess the mod? We're looking at two mods, in fact. We are looking at the Ambient Occlusion mod and the Sun Shafts mod. So, this looks very pretty. If we do this again, but if I disable Sun Shafts, you'll notice that it's maybe not quite as pretty as you expect. Look, there aren't any beautiful sun shafts shooting through between the buildings. If we put sun shafts back on, look at that. Look at that. Sun shafts basically allows you to get these sort of volumetric-like light rays coming between buildings, especially when you're looking up towards where the sun would be. I think the sun's over there behind a cloud or something. It looks really pretty. It does have a small impact on frame rate, but it is pretty negligible. I haven't noticed any real proper drops. I think it's just a lovely mod. I don't know why you would go without, really. I mean, maybe you wouldn't like the effect that you get here, which is that bridge is actually casting some pretty distant sun rays. If we turn that off, you can see that the effect here is not noticeable. It's because I'm looking up directly at where the sun should be. If I don't do that, you notice the effect is a lot less prevalent. Though you can see it, I think, still if we're over here. Let's see. There we go, look at that. It does look very, very pretty. So, that's the first part. That is the Sun Shafts mod. Now, the second part, the Ambient Occlusion. So, Ambient Occlusion is basically the way that objects cast sort of shadows around themselves. Just putting it very, very simply and bluntly. So we've got Ambient Occlusion enabled at the moment. If I disable Ambient Occlusion, notice that things get a little bit brighter around the edges of buildings, and it is really just casting shadows in a very direct line of sight. Whereas, realistically, objects sort of cast a very hazy shadow around themselves. If we enable it, you see that we get this sort of slight blurred shadow around things, and that's Ambient Occlusion right there, and it's a lot more realistic, and I think it allows the buildings to have a lot more realness. They look a lot more in their element, in their terrain, because they actually look like they're actually, casting shadows around them like they should with Ambient Occlusion. If we disable it, they look a lot more stable to the ground, and that intersection between the building and the pavement doesn't look as real. If we enable it, that looks a lot more real. So you can see with the car there, the car's sort of casting a little bit of a blackness around itself. These two mods work really well. There is basically a very negligible impact on frame rate, although if you are hard pressed with frames, you might want to drop them. Enable them again, you'll see the people there casting Ambient Occlusion. Honestly, I really love it. I love both mods. They are small, they are fairly lightweight, and they make the game look even prettier. I would thoroughly recommend them. I've been EnterElysium, that's all I've got to say about these mods. If you have liked, today's episode, and you like the mods, and you found this particularly interesting, then put them a like. And by the way, if you're wondering how you get this up, it's F8. It does say on the top. And if you're not subscribed and you want to see more, then please consider subscribing. But until next time, I've been EnterElysium, and stay shiny.